When I look at internet, YouTube, and my TV, it's almost unavoidable to see depressing information about inflation, interest rates skyrocketing, fuel prices going through the roof, gas prices doubling, and a recession is coming. After hearing all this news, you're probably thinking the end of the world is coming. Filling your car up will cause a heart attack, and really, it's not going to kill you. Yes, the economy is not so great right now, and the news is determined to play on your emotions, raise your heart rate, and make you afraid. And you know you shouldn't overreact to this, as otherwise your critical thinking becomes run. So just take it with a grain of salt. Maybe it's real or politically driven. Yes, everything is going up, but do what you can control how it affects you. My name is Sally Wright, your part-time CFO. A cucumber is almost $4 and gas price is $2 per litre. Labour costs have increased by 30%. And I hear you say, oh no. In this video, I will share with you the top 5 proven tips on how you can stay on top of things. In the 2010 Harvard Business Review article, Roaring Out of Recession, found that during the recessions of 1980, 1990, and 2000, 17% of 4,700 public companies they studied performed particularly badly. They went bankrupt, went private, or acquired. But at the other end of the results, 9% of the companies didn't simply recover in the 3 years after recession. They flourished, outperforming competitors by at least 10% growth in the sales and profits. A more recent analysis by Bain, a top 3 financial firm, using data from the Great Recession, reinforced this finding. The top 10% of companies in Bain's analysis saw their earnings climb steadily throughout the period and continued to rise afterwards. A third study by McKinsey, another top 3 financial firm, found similar results. The difference maker was preparation. So, what were the key differentiators? Among the companies that failed after the Great Recession, few made contingency plans and thought through alternative scenarios. According to the Bain's report, when a downturn hit, they switched to a surviving mode, making deep cuts and reacting defensively. Many of the companies that merely link through a recession are slower to recover and never really catch up. Preparation is key. So how should you prepare in advance for a recession, and what moves should it make when one hits? Research and case studies examining the Great Recession shed light on those questions, and some of the most interesting findings deal with 5 areas: debt, decision-making, workforce management, streamline your processes, operating within budget. The underlying message across all areas is that recessions are a high-pressure exercise in change management. To navigate a recession successfully, you must be flexible and ready to adjust. Rebecca of Harvard Business School likes to remind her students, rule number 1, don't crash the company. That means, firstly, don't run out of money. Because a recession usually brings a lower sales and less cash to fund operations, so surviving a downturn requires smart financial management. For example, if Amazon hadn't raised all that money before the dot-com bust, its operation would have been much more limited. Instead, it was able to absorb losses in its investment in other startups and also launch Amazon Marketplace, its platform for third-party sellers. Later that year, Amazon further expanded during and after the recession into new segments like kitchen, travel, apparel, and new markets like Canada. The more debt you have, the more cash you need to make your interest and principal payment. When a recession hits and less cash comes in the door, this puts you at risk of defaulting. To keep up with payments, companies with more debt are forced to cut costs more aggressively, often through layoffs. And these deep cuts reduce productivity and ability to fund new investments. Unfortunately, your organizational structure isn't easy to adjust quickly in preparation for recession. But that doesn't mean you cannot learn from these findings. Professor Raffaella, Harvard Business School, says companies can fall into the trap of slowing their decision during a downturn. But what you need to do is the opposite. You need to seek input from all your employees at all levels when making key decisions so that you can make fundamental change for the better. And that is why recessions offer opportunities for change. Some layoffs are inevitable in downturn. During the global financial crisis in 2009, millions of people were laid off. However, Ray J and his colleagues at Harvard Business School found in their study of public companies that emerged from crisis in the strongest shape relied less on layoffs to cut costs and learn more on operational improvements. And that is because layoffs aren't just harmful to workers, they're costly to a company. Hiring and training are expensive, so it's better not to rehire when the economy picks back up, particularly if you think the downturn will be brief. Layoffs also hurt morale and reduce productivity when you can least afford it, and very often start landslides of employee resignations that can be hard to recover from. Make sure you are squeezing every dollar out of every job by streamlining your business as much as possible. For your business, this means sticking to what you are good at, like focusing on a physical job at hand and delegating things like admin that take up a lot of your time to either external contractor or using automated software to lighten the load. This is more important than ever during a recession, but it makes companies financial sense to have this sorted regardless of current state of economy. While economy downturns are difficult, laying the groundwork early will allow your business to be well positioned to survive and come out the other side thriving. Operating within your budget is core to run a good business. Everyone knows you need to operate within your budget so your business is in the best position possible should a recession hit. In fact, following a budget or operating a plan is a best practice at all times. Some recessions, like the one associated with COVID-19 pandemic, come without any economic early warning signals. So that is how to survive a recession and inflation and thrive afterwards. Build your cash flow, operating within your budget, streamlining your process, look after your people, and most importantly, prepare. Prepare for what's coming and know what happens if your revenue drops by 20%, 30%, or 50%. Ensure you know what your bottom line looks like should these scenarios play out. If you enjoyed this information and liked our video, please check out our YouTube channel to subscribe for more financial insights. Please click on the bell icon to get notified about next video. I'm Sally Wright, your part-time CFO. I really appreciate that you watched my video and hope it helped. Bye guys, and take care.